Don Lemon. Sarah Sanders spent 2 years as the press secretary over at the White House. Every day she had to talk about Russia. What was that like? She joins us tonight. Sarah, nice to see you back in Washington.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
So every day you had to, and I can't even remember who the name of the White House correspondent, the dumb guy over at CNN. I shouldn't even say
there's so
that.
many.
No, but there's one, Jim Acosta.
Yes.
So every day you had to sit there and it wasn't just that they disagree with Trump's policies, which I think is totally legitimate. You're allowed to disagree with policies.
Fair.
But the implication was he was literally working for Putin. How did you, what was that like?
I mean, so many times they were so out of control and absurd in the accusations they were making against the president. They were literally accusing him of being a traitor to his own country. I mean, it was mind-boggling at times to listen to the repeated, outrageous allegations against the president. But the good thing was we knew the truth. And finally, I think we're seeing all of that come out over the last several weeks and months. I think what we saw this week is further indication that this whole thing has been a complete and utter sham from the beginning.
What I find so fascinating, almost mesmerizing about this story is that it was never a close call. We could debate the president's trade policy or whatever, or any other policy. But the question of whether or not he colluded with Vladimir Putin to steal the election from Hillary Clinton was so crazy from day one that I always wondered, do they really believe it? Do you think the reporters really believed it, that he did?
I think some did. I think they had convinced themselves that it was real because they had to validate why they had been so wrong. I think part of the kind of media class was so taken by surprise that Donald Trump became president that they had no other explanation other than there must have been some sort of scandal around it. And they couldn't admit the fact that they were just completely and totally wrong. And the sad thing is you would think that they would learn something from that. They would learn something over the last 2.5 years, but they haven't. Instead, they're doubling down and they're getting it wrong again. Every single time they try to nail this president on something, whether it's the sham Russia hoax or now it's the sham Ukraine scandal, they lose. Whether it was the economy, they said the economy would completely collapse, and it is absolutely booming. They said the president couldn't get good trade deals, he couldn't defeat ISIS, he couldn't rebuild the military. Literally every single thing they say he can't do, not only does he do it, but he does it better than even I think some people in the administration expected to happen.
So on the question of collusion with Putin, did anyone ever apologize to you? Did anyone off camera, off the record say, you know, it's pretty clear that he wasn't actually working for Putin, and I'm sorry I suggested otherwise?
No, not only did they not apologize for that, but any of the other outrageous claims that they made against the president or his staff. I've never seen an administration attacked so heavily and sometimes so personally
you were attacked
as this administration
in
has
public
been.
Repeatedly. And you were attacked because people like Jim Acosta were making claims totally unsupported by fact that were wild treason, as you just pointed out. Did any of them ever say, gosh, I'm really sorry what happened to your family?
You know, there were certainly moments, particularly after the White House Correspondents' Dinner and other moments where journalists, even some of the very far left, came and said that they were sorry for what had happened.
Good.
But that didn't take away from the fact that they continued to push a completely false narrative against the president. And for that, I don't need the apology, but the American people do.
Well,
They've wasted so much time and so much energy. Just think how much more the president could have gotten done if they hadn't been slamming every single moment this Russia scandal down America's throat.
And it's going to have consequences. I don't see how Jeff Zucker keeps his job at CNN
He
after
shouldn't.
abetting. No, Jeff Zucker should be fired. It should have been fired a long time ago.
But not just because of that. His ratings, just on performance,
I agree.
everything is
I agree completely.
Yeah.
And the fact that Jeff Zucker runs CNN, the fact that the governor of New York's brother went to Yale, I mean, all of these are signs that this is not a meritocracy we're living in, obviously. Anyway, it's great to see you tonight.
Good to see you, too.
Thank you, Sarah Sanders.